So,
Well, we don't actually have a name or anything, so you don't have to introduce it yet, but...
well, we might as well introduce who we are.
Yeah.
Because, like,
We
otherwise
need to.
nobody's going to know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
voice number A, which is terrible, is Ryan.
Voice number 2.
Did you say
As opposed
2?
to- You said number A.
Did I say number A? Oh,
Yes.
shit.
I'm Tommy.
Oh, God.
Well, currently trying to work out how to use my phone.
I was originally planning to put, like, an intro thing over this. Like some music and a logo, but we can have the logo all through it, presumably, because we're going to have no video. So,
Yeah, at the moment, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm presuming that we're going to go right into the cluttery noise of it all.
Yeah, I'm also going to be... And he said anal. Well, I'm always anal. I'm probably going to be nasal and whiny. That's not me.
Bottle of Dr. Pepper that's way too whistly for your own good.
So, you're the one with topics.
I have got a topic.
I got fuck all.
I was thinking, so how early do Christmas decorations go up at your house?
They normally don't.
They don't with me
I
either.
tend to get a Christmas tree up at
ever since I got
2
a
weeks
cat.
before, maybe.
Ever since I got a cat, we haven't had Christmas decorations up for 2 years because the cat just decides that they're its playthings. Just tears them down. Every winter, without fail, I don't know who lives here, it's down my road. And you can put this up when people are listening. But that's the Christmas tree they put up outside their house.
I think he's overcompensating.
Maybe. I'm thinking, in town centres, when they turn on the lights, you've got all these big trees. And you've got, obviously, teams of about 12 people that probably put these trees up with full ladders and scaffolding and probably big, big trees. Yeah. How do they get that up? Because there's, maybe 2 old people living in that house.
See, I'm just wondering if they have, a celebrity come down to turn the lights on.
But I was walking past that lights up the entire road.
Yeah.
I've walked past it about, I'd say 4 or 5 before because I'm out that late for some reason. But it lights up the entire road.
Is that really the best you could have positioned that light? Because it's straight in my eyes.
Yeah.
Entertain, because I need to move it.
It's going to go move the light now. Basically, we're in a tiny little studio room and I've placed the one light directly in his face.
Oh, it hasn't even... Oh, yeah.
It has got a swivel thing.
It's just really hot, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I bumped my hand on one of them once.
I've burned freaking everything on these lights. So if we
This
bounce
is a
it off
lovely
the
way
roof-
to start a pilot episode, I've got to say.
Every pilot episode is shit, that's the point. You see, if you bounce it off the roof, Mr. Meehan...
Don't say the last name. I hate it. You said bounce it off the roof, and fair enough.
Yeah, everything's now light,
Right, well,
and I don't have a fucking bright thing in my
couldn't be
face.
asked. There we go.
So, what was your question?
Oh, wait, question.
Yeah, how did they put the Christmas tree up?
Yeah, how'd they get it up? There's about 2 old people living in the house, and they've got no scaffolding, and they've got one.
Well, I'd imagine they're probably a family for one.
Alright, but you've probably got one ladder.
Is the tree always there? Is it like a tree in their garden?
Oh, I don't. It might be. So
Maybe they just have lights in it all the time that you've never noticed.
No, they definitely take it out because I've walked past it before and I remember because I always go, oh, there's the lights out. I hate it, but simultaneously I don't want it to go.
Why is there bug rolling here? Because we're in the shittest room
We are in the
possible.
worst room for this. It's probably got terrible sound quality. Along with the constant moving of chairs that you see.
Well, I'm moving out of the way of that because I know how loud my voice is.
So should we get right into the debatey part of this?
Is this where you bring up a film that I like, or a game that I like, or something that I like that you've decided is wrong?
This is a film that I guess you like, but you don't like parts of it.
This is...
Psycho.
I don't like... Okay, right. I don't hate Psycho, but I think it's massively overrated, and especially when everyone talks about Hitchcock. Fucking hell, we're starting this the wankiest way possible. People always talk about Hitchcock, and I was like, oh yeah, Psycho. Psycho's like...
I just want to hear your rant, Peter.
You're gonna...
I think it's okay. But
See, alright, pin this back on you. What's wrong with the birds? Apart from the fact we had to watch it.
I've never said anything wrong with the birds.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I liked.
birds came on and you went, ugh.
Because we okay, so we did level 1. No, we did 1 year in level 3 last year, and then the year before that we did level 2. Great. The year before that we did level 2, and level 2 we watched the birds about, not going to exaggerate, about 20 times.
We watched it like 5 all the way through.
You
We
watched
watched
it
clips.
We watched parts of it just 20 times to death, and it's just the film's good. It's just there's a point where you're sick of hearing crows, or seagulls,
Yeah.
or seeing Tippy Hedren's stupid fucking face all the time.
See, my issue with Psycho is I just don't think it's that good. Like, it's all right, and I think there's like obviously you got like the shower scene and things like that. I think there's really good parts of it.
I hate the shower scene.
But I think it's. See, I don't hate it, but it's not as good as everyone goes on about.
I hate it. Everyone would have been really startled by it when it came out. I can't stand the shower scene.
I just think it's like I get it, but I don't care. Like
having a bottle here.
Ooh, that was good. Should have done it right in the mic for the ASMRs.
It's a shitty mic. Probably comes from a middle class house.
I'm sure it's okay.
That's not.
If it's not, then this is just really uncomfortable.
That's not for the first episode. Right, the viewer base that would have been watching this now, they've gone.
Yeah. I mean, that's if they were here in the first place.
I've probably got one. I mean, one of our mums is going to watch it, probably.
Yay!
Maybe I might have an American friend that might, but apart from that, I doubt it.
Did we actually say who our names are, or did we just say this one's
I
me?
said number A is Ryan, and you said number 2
is Tommy. Yeah, good. Okay, I'm the nasal one. Yeah, we went through that.
Well, we got all that out of the way first.
I don't know what these are, but I'm going to keep fidgeting with them because they make me feel good. It's
nice. I had another topic I want to talk about.
That's very good because we spoke for 6 minutes and
we
need to get into the frame of just talking shit.
I'm just saying. So, games. You typically play sporty, racy ones, don't you?
See, what would you define as a gamer?
What would I define as a gamer?
Yeah, when people say I'm a gamer, what would you
Someone
actually say?
spends,
yeah, you're right, you are.
I'd say someone who spends more time gaming than consuming other forms of media, apart from like TV, because that's just a general one.
So I don't really play PC games. When I did play PC games, my favourite was Euro Truck Simulator.
Truck Simulator.
It's a good game.
It's not a good game.
What's wrong with it?
It's a truck simulator.
Yeah. You fucking stick on Crangle something and just fuck off around some imaginary part of the world.
Right, well, you're
not imaginary part of the world.
You're just clearly an idiot then.
It's just a really chilled out game. I'm not saying you sit there going, oh fucking hell, I'm not going to get to the next
If you want a chilled out
objective.
game, you play Valhalla.
I don't know what that is.
Cyberpunk bartending game.
Yeah, but you got to do shit with that.
Brilliant. You don't. You have to remember what they asked for.
Yeah.
It takes the
Just
bottom of the screen
thinking,
anyway.
what do you have to do with Euro Truck? Turn left. Oh, okay, I'll turn left here. It's fucking just the best thing.
You can't drive in real life, so you're going to simulate driving a truck, which you never will anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what simulators are for.
Makes perfect sense, that does.
But like, I've never been like a PC gamer, and I've never really massively been onto online games. I quite liked GTA Online when it came out. Now it's just fucking awful. But
what's wrong with GTA Online?
Really?
No. Fair enough.
But that everything that comes out, you have to pay real money for.
No, I just think that the amount you earn money, like the rate you earn money.
I think the money on GTA Online is just fucked.
Unless you're playing it like hardcore for like
you go and buy
3
a hat
days straight, you're not going to be able to buy anything.
If you buy a hat on GTA Online, it costs you like £1,300, and that's from like the budget stores. That's what's wrong with GTA Online. Everything's massively screwed in the
character
pricing.
half naked and you just run around with a gun.
Well, you can do
Easiest
that.
thing to do.
But what were we talking about? Oh, me not being a gamer.
There we go.
Like, I like games, but then like I don't spend all my time. Like I said, I don't go online. It's not really a social thing. I like to play a game.
Yeah, well, yeah, you've got no friends. That's the point.
Well, yeah, I know. Oh. But yeah, like I'll play a game. Like I haven't played any fucking games recently. I'll play a game, like a new game, and I play it and go, "That was good." I like campaigns of games.
Yeah, that's the
I
problem.
find
There's not a lot of games coming out that are actually single
that's
player
my issue with like the fucking your Call of Duty and like I mean Battlefield 1 did
brilliant game.
Right. I think that game goes downhill in the order you play it on the campaign. Because the tank section of that game is fucking amazing, and that alone could be a film. I think the character work and everything.
Oh, is that the one
about
where so you're the tank? You're not.
you're
the
like
tank
the new
driver
guy.
and,
yeah.
At the end, one guy runs off, doesn't he? And he comes back, or he dies, or one of them. I can't remember how it goes.
But I think it works really well. It's really effective, and it's relatively decent length for what it is. And you sort of sit there going, right, well, if everything's like that, this is going to be a really good game. Then you move on to the plane, which is decent. But the guy is just a bit
never good.
Yeah.
They're never decent.
Yeah. Well, neither are tank sections.
The only plane game I ever played that I enjoyed was Blazing Angels. Blazing Angels, and that was like it was okay. There wasn't anything amazing about it, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, I just think and I didn't really like the character in it, but sort of I think he's supposed to be this cheeky chappy that sort of But then you go on to the Australian, I think, the infantry kid.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't played any of the campaign on Battlefield 1 apart from the first mission.
Well, then you move on to this infantry kid, and it's like, you've got... I'm going to have loads of fucking fanboys now slag me off because I can't remember what happens. As far as I know, like, the tank one, it sort of tells a bit of a story going through this thing. The plane one, it's sort of you're going up and down a couple of times.
Well, the tank mission spans, like, 2 days.
Yeah, but the infantry guy, it's sort of the most shooty-bang kind of
Like
thing in the game.
Call of Duty level.
Yeah, you'd expect it sort of running through the trenches and doing what you normally do in a Call of Duty or Battlefield game. And it lasts one mission, basically. I think there's, like, split into sections, but you start on a boat, and you sort of attack from this boat, and you're like, oh, go over there.
Yeah.
Then you get off the boat, and you run up to this bit, like, castle. You storm the castle, and then that's the end. I think that's the one part of the game that's most normal to everyone. Had a relatively good story of... You've got the sort of the new guy, and the old veteran sort of thinks he's not worth it, and all that lot, and then it's a nice story.
I'm sick of those stories in games and films.
But I just think it hurried through it and didn't do anything, and then the fucking...
Tell you what, though,
Lawrence of Arabia,
Battlefield 1 as a game is brilliant.
But yeah, Battlefield 1, I then look at Call of Duty World War 2.
Which is the stupidest fucking name because they've already got a game called World at War.
Yeah.
So that makes it seem like that one's World War 1 and this one's World War 2, and it pisses me off.
See, the other thing I think GTA, that's going to pick up on the mic.
Yeah, really badly.
Yes.
Nice.
The way GTA did their online at the start, I think was really good because you had the game come out and everyone wants GTA for the game. Then you've got, well, there wasn't really an online in GTA 4. It was there, but a bit shit.
It was there, and it was the most hilarious.
It was there, and I think it was more
because you crash your car
for...
and you go flying across the country, really.
I think it was more for like friends and that to dig about it.
Yeah,
you wouldn't just go on there for no reason.
You wouldn't play it as your multiplayer game.
Yeah. And so GTA 5 comes out and everyone buys it for the game. Then they announce GTA 5 Online, which is going to be this new thing, and they give that its own release date.
Do you remember when GTA Online first released?
Yes.
How bad it was?
Well, the servers and everything didn't work.
Yeah, because you couldn't connect to it, and then when you did, your character had black stripes over him, and it didn't work properly, and it was just terrible.
But, ow, I'm going to stop fidgeting with that because I stabbed myself in the thumb.
He stabbed himself with a paper clip. Apparently that's possible.
But, that really hurt. I went under my nail. But, like, everyone was already acquainted with the game because they played it through the story, they knew how it worked, everyone was at the same level. Then when the online comes out, everybody started at the same thing. So everybody knows the same amount, like, about the mechanics of the game, everyone knows how the cars drive, how the guns do. Everyone starts off at the same level, so everyone's level 1 with fuck all guns and everything like that. And you all sort of progress together.
You all sort of
progress together. And now you go on, you go on GTA Online now, and you get some kid that turns up, it's like level 1. And you say, fuck off, mate.
That guy's screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got your hackers and all that shit, and everything's fucking too expensive, and it's just miserable now.
Well, I remember I got into a game on 360, and this was when all the hackers were like using cables to get more money and stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything that really annoyed me because they're just doing it to get money.
It didn't annoy me because I got to.
But I remember I got sent like 3 billion at one point. Some guy sent me a message for a pie, and I thought, oh, he sent me the money. I'm going to join him now. Joined him, and he just went, "Merry Christmas," and then he left. So I was like, oh, thanks. But back to World War 2, the new card. I can't stand that game.
I haven't played it yet. My dad
The campaign is like Saving Private Ryan, but a budget version of it. There is even the part of Saving Private Ryan where there's the Jew and he's fighting the guy with the knife. That scene is in that game, and the bit where Tom Hanks fires a gun at the tanks and stuff. That's in the game at the end.
So this is my thing with Call of Duty. I feel like Battlefield want to make a good game. And then sort of go, right, now we need to put all of our effort into the single player, the multiplayer. Whereas I think Call of Duty goes, right, everyone's here for the multiplayer, so we'll put this story on, and then everything will do that.
We'll put the story on so they have achievements to unlock.
Well, I think the fact they received so much shit for one, but then the fact that fucking Battlefield 1 did so well, I think they sort of went, oh shit, we should, put a bit more effort into it. So they tried to, even that, they probably just went, oh fuck it, we'll do the same.
This is the thing I've always said.
But I think they then tried to put a little bit more effort into it, but didn't want to kill too much time because the multiplayers were from playing console.
That's the thing I've always said is so let's think about what game came out. Advanced Warfare came out, and everyone was saying, "Oh, we want an old school game back." And I was like, "Okay, well, if you're going to ask for that, they're going to do it." So they would have started that. Then the one that was already in production came out, which was Black Ops 3 at that point. That was the
Was
next
it,
one.
or was it?
It was Black Ops 3. Infinite came out after Black Ops. So that one came out, and so everyone was like, "Oh, when are we going to get the old school back?" I'm thinking, they are doing that. They just got to release the games they already had a production for. They've got 3 different studios.
You've got Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty launched on the same day, and you're going, "Oh, well, we want that one." And they're going, "Well, we're not going to scrap it, are we?"
Can't just like get rid of it.
Yeah.
Multi-million-dollar game in the process of being made.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Although, do you know what game I'm going to talk about now?
Go on.
Well, I mean, what game was I talking about?
Is it still a war game?
No.
Right, can I just bring up briefly? I really like, and they get so much shit for some reason.
Oh, God.
I like Medal of Honor.
Why?
Why not?
It's so boring.
Yeah, but I think I like simulators. I like the stupid little things on games where it's like Advanced Warfare and things like that. You're playing now. You're going up against sort of modern enemies and things like that. You're not fucking Space
modern
Navy.
enemies. It's all futuristic crap.
No, the old Advanced, not Advanced Warfare, Modern Warfare.
It's Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Right. So you say Advanced Warfare is not
give
modern,
a clue with the name, wouldn't it? But and say like you're you're playing against people like now, and you got the old school, not old school, fucking like World War II and all shit like that. And you think it's cool, it's something different, but it's not really now. You can't relate to it. Medal of Honor have sort of all they started off doing the war shit, but like the last 2 Medal of Honor games, the Medal of Honor and Warfighter.
I heard Warfighter was not that good.
I heard it had a lot of like buggy bits. My favourite thing is you had this little bit when you broach a door and it brings up this little like fucking thing and you can select how you do it. And if you select the boot, it goes okay, and then like the guy lifts his leg up and the door explodes and then he kicks the door. It's hilarious every time because it did it with like it's just like the animation was he lifts his leg up, the door explodes, then he kicks it, and it was just stupid. But like I like the thing of like you can do single shot on games. As far as I know, Medal of Honor was the first one to do like a single shot or a semi-automatic or things like that.
Well, I mean,
because Call of Duty was always just.
Well, when did Medal of Honor games first start coming? That was like PS2, wasn't it?
Yeah, my first.
Because the game I remember first doing that I played was Rainbow Six Vegas 1. Vegas 1, I hate as a game. I think it's terrible.
My first like war game was Medal of Honor. Frontline? Was that the one with the you start on the beaches?
I haven't played any Medal of Honor since like.
I'm sure it
what
was
the Airborne one.
Airborne.
Is it literally called Airborne?
Yeah,
I think I played that
you
one.
jump out of planes and shit.
Yeah.
Going to do a Google, entertain, but yeah.
Well, if you want a game,
googling Google.
If you want a game that's like war, well, guns and modern stuff, you've got to play Rainbow Six Siege.
Ah,
it's
yeah,
brilliant.
But isn't it all online?
You can do terrorist matches, which is sort of.
Because I don't really like online gaming. I just don't find it that enjoyable, and I'm shit at it.
Well, I'm like you. I've been burnt out on online games because I just play so much of them, and then I'm just get annoyed. Like the recent one I played was Overwatch. I played it for ages on like Prestige 3 on it. Now part of me can't stand that game. I just hate it with passion. I can't stop playing it, but I hate it because it'll do this thing where for 3 months it'll be silent and everyone will be going, "Oh, who's going to come out next? What skins are going to come out?" Then they'll bring out the new hero, and it inevitably fucks up the entire play because this one's now overpowered and no one else is. Then they spend 3 more months fixing everything, and it's just sort of annoying.
It was Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
Allied Assault?
I have never... Well, obviously I've heard of it because it was the first game I played. I remember it was on Platinum, and...
Is that the first ever game you played?
It was the first war game.
Okay.
And I remember it was because my dad at the time was playing Call of Duty... The big one or something like that. I think it was the second one, and I liked it.
The big one?
I don't know. No, I think that was the name of the game. It was like Call of Duty 2, the big one. And it was, I'm sure it was Allied Assault. Give me the fucking cover.
Search Google now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Let's just assume it is for now, and anyone can correct us if they so desire to watch it to this point in the video.
Oh, it didn't actually start on Normandy beaches. I think you'll find.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm hoping somebody like that does watch it so we can just
laugh at them. Yeah, I'm going to say it was Allied Assault. Yeah, I played that because I was with my mum and I was like, oh, I want that. And the Allied Assault was like a 16 and Call of Duty was like an 18. And my mum presumed that 16 would be easier because it's more for kids. Oh, I was young, I didn't know.
I think Dark Souls 2 is a 12, is it? Or a 16? That's not easy.
See, I was always shit at games as a kid. I remember the first video game I actually finished. Do you remember the first game you finished?
First game I finished, all the way through... Are you talking about like all the achievements or just...
No, just like you finished the story.
Oh.
I remember mine.
I think, if Battlefront 2 had a story mode, and I think I completed that, like, as a kid. Or, like, Lego Star Wars. I know it's a Star Wars game I must have played, because I was really into that one as a kid. And I didn't really play anything apart from sort of those kind of games.
The first story game I ever finished was the Reservoir Dogs game.
It might be since I'm sitting run. Fucking love that game.
Yeah, the first story game,
Reservoir
or story
Dogs.
in a game. Yeah, it was Reservoir Dogs, the game. I've got so many fond memories of that game. But I remember the last mission, you were on a... Do you know how Reservoir Dogs start? I'm going to take my keys now. It's really nice. You're in the... there's also a wire. Yeah, like the film starts with the him bleeding out in the car and they're driving to get to the factory, and that's how the game ends. I can't remember much about the game. I remember really loving some missions because you do a bit where you go in through a bank and all this shit. But
voice crack.
Fuck off! I've got a cold. I'm gonna keep throwing that out there. But
I have a friend who always has voice cracks. I'm not gonna name them, but it's hilarious when they do.
Is it me?
It's not you. It's someone else.
But yeah, I remember playing it and you're against the time limit, and I was always so shit at games. And I remember my dad came in the one time and he was just sort of stood there and was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I need to finish this game." And it was like, I don't know how I knew it was the last level, but I'm sat there and it took me fucking 2 hours or so. But I finished it and you get the credits going, and I remember that was the first ever time I'd finished a game.
Have you ever had a game that you completed all the way through, did all the missions, and got all the achievements? I guess on PlayStation it's trophies, but...
Not really. I don't know. I've never attempted it.
I had one, and I always say to everyone I did all the achievements, but I didn't. It's Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
And I always say, I got all the
confession?
achievements. This is a shock confession, because it pisses me off to this day, because I've never gone back and replayed it. So, in the DLC, I did every achievement, and I was completing the DLC achievements. And in the DLC, in Shivering Isles, I think it is, you can either go and become the... can't fix his ill. You can either go for the Duke of Mania, or the Duke of Dementia. And there's two little, I guess, regions. Well, not regions, but people that control this sort of place.
Yeah.
And I didn't save it beforehand before picking one of them. I realised there's an achievement for picking each one. So if I'd saved it beforehand, I could have picked one, loaded it, got the other one, and then got the achievement. So I went through the entire game, went back and went, oh, I could have done that one. So I've never gone back and replayed it because I was pissed off that much, my own stupidity. But I got most of them, so it's fine. But, do you ever have a moment in games where you were proud or something?
Well, yeah, I finished Reservoir Dogs. And
It's not
I
proud.
was proud of that.
Finishing a game isn't...
I was proud because it was the first game I'd ever finished, and...
I had a proud moment. I was playing,
Get that ASMR.
I was playing Dark Souls... No, everyone's going to jump on me for this. I was playing Dark Souls 2, which is like the baby brother of the Dark Souls franchise. Nobody really likes it. It's okay as a game. It's not great as a Dark Souls game. But I remember I was playing... you get past the first boss, which is this giant, and you get past the second one. Well, you either do or you don't. That's the thing. He's called the Pursuer, and it's the most fuck-off boss ever. Because you get to him, you're not ready for him, really. He's fairly... Once you realise what you're fighting, he's fairly easy to actually beat. But apart from that, he's just a nuisance with a red eye. He's just a bastard. He has a big sword that reaches you inevitably, and you've got this tiny, depending on your starting class, you've got like a club or like a axe or something. It's just terrible. And I've never liked him. I've always loved the boss design. I've never liked playing against him.
You see, I never liked...
But when I beat him, I remember it was 3 o'clock in the morning, because I was trying for 3 hours, and I just screamed and I went, yes!
And so I just don't really like... I don't really play fantasy games and things like that.
I'd say fantasy's tied
See, I was
favourite
thinking about
genre
this
with
earlier.
cyberpunk sci-fi stuff.
I've always said I don't really like sci-fi, but at the same time I do. It's just I'm not...
Well, if you like sci-fi, I know
I'm
you
not
don't like
religious
anime.
into
Watch
it.
Ghost
It's
in
a
the
case of I sit there and I'm like, oh, I have to watch this sort of thing because it's sci-fi. Whereas I would be with some other things of, oh, that's going to be good because it's drama or something like that.
Even if you don't like sci-fi and you don't like anime, which are probably two of the things you like least.
I may watch Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, but don't
Is it
watch
on
the
Netflix?
Scarlett Johansson one. Sorry?
No, I wouldn't. Is it on Netflix?
No, but I can always pass it you on a memory stick because that's what we do nowadays.
Piracy!
I mean, I've got the DVDs of them, but I don't like to give them out because...
I take it they're dubbed.
Yeah.
Like the memory stick thing, yeah. And so I can't do subtitles, you know this.
Yeah, well, just like that. I was going to say now, you've pissed me off.
Watch Ghost in the Shell.
You can watch the original 1995 one, which is a brilliant film because it's just really stylish for 1995 animation.
The stuff that I've seen of Ghost in the Shell, it's fucking like beautiful.
The environments are all. It's like a perfect blend of. I think I'm not an animator, but I think it's traditional 2D animation and 3D sort of CG stuff, and they do it both brilliantly. And there's a final battle in that film, which isn't really a battle. It's more just a philosophical nightmare.
Yeah.
Where sort of two parties question whether or not they really should be doing what they're doing and whether they should join or whatever. It's one of those fucking AI versus whatever films. But you get to a point in that film where you just go, I'm watching something really different here. Because it's different to everything else. And then you can watch the Scarlett Johansson one, which I think holds merit because it's not terrible. It's just, it's not amazing. It doesn't have the same like depth as the original.
I've just found the video I was on about earlier.
What video?
With comparing the new Ghost in the Shell to the old one. It's not on any of the channels I was showing you. It's on Nerdwriter's channel. I shall send it you tonight, and you can watch it and call me.
Well, the difference. I watched the Scarlett Johansson one. Do you say Johansson or Johansson?
I said Johansson, but it's got a J. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Also, to completely change it, it's Cillian Murphy, not Cillian Murphy. You were
Is
right.
it Killian?
Yeah.
Damn it! Wait, did I say Killian or did I say?
You
Cillian?
said Cillian.
Oh, I was right then. Good. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that.
Saw it yesterday and it was like...
I watched the Scarlett Johansson one and I was pissed off because her second in command, I guess you'd call him that, Bato, I think his name is. I can't remember because I haven't watched them in a while. I'm going to watch the second film when I go home again because it's brilliant. He has, in the anime series and films, he has robotic eyes because that's sort of the theme. Everyone's got something in them.
Yeah.
And in the film he doesn't. And you go, what are you doing, film? This is ruined it already. And she's got an American name, and you go, oh, this is terrible. What are they doing? Then the story progresses, and she gets the different name, and he gets the eyes, and you go, oh, okay, so they just added a bit on, and they sort of turned it into their own film. I just don't think that it holds the same merit as the original animated one.
See, I watched the trailer for Ghost in the Shell, like the Scarlett Johansson one.
Yeah.
And I sort of thought, it's not my thing.
Everyone keeps going on about the skin tight bodysuit, and they just don't know what's going to hit them when they watch the other anime series. There's plenty more in there.
I watched it, and it's like, it's not my thing. In fact, the first I actually found out about it was the fact that it was like, oh, Scarlett Johansson appears nude in new film. And I'm like, okay, apparently that's a deal. Apparently she's never done it before, and I'm like, oh, you go, girl. But I then sort of started looking at the original and found it was anime, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to watch that then, am I? And started looking into it, and I mean, again, I was saying that I think aesthetically it looks amazing. I think, again, like I was saying with Death Note, I think the idea behind it is really smart and it intrigues me. But I am someone that will just get, oh, it's anime, so I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that these days.
Which I'm working on.
But I don't know, what was the first anime series I ever watched? I think the first one I watched on my own was Tokyo Ghoul, and I started reading the manga after that. It was really good. Don't mind the tapping noise. It's
trying to work out if it's air conditioning or a fucking train's coming towards us.
It's fine. So I watched Tokyo Ghoul, and then, I mean, I'm gonna get, if anyone who watches anime watches this, which they never will.
Yeah.
No one will. I watched the one online after that, which I thought was really nice. It was sort of like a feel-goody one. That is hated in the community by everyone. It's just nobody really likes it, and I don't know why. I guess it's because it was too hyped for it sounding good. Everyone thought it was like brilliant, and then they watched it and they thought it was just shit. I mean, after that, I watched Fairy Tail and Bleach and all that lot. I'm still watching Bleach because it's more than 300 episodes. I'm trying to get into One Piece, which, by the way, if you think the 300 episode ones were long, One Piece is over 700.
Why?
And still going.
Is that all just one person punching someone as well?
No, I'm trying to get into it, but I just... it's taking...
Is Ghost in the Shell a film or a series?
Ghost in the Shell... Oh, you get me started now.
Without going into it, is it
Ghost
just like one thing that you sit and watch, or do you have to sit and for like fucking 300 episodes?
Ghost in the Shell originally was the first film, then the second film, which carries the story on from that. That is a separate thing. You can watch.
Right. So it's two films.
You can watch those two films on their own.
Because I'll watch that, but I'm not about to commit to watching like a 60 episode fucking episode.
After that, there's a series called Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex.
I don't care about
which is just a series of... It's like a sci-fi cyberpunk series, basically.
Yeah.
But it holds the same messages and sort of stuff in there. It just expands it a bit more. I think... I think there's two. I'm not good at this. I think there's two different series of that, and then there's a film after that, and then there's another film, which I think is supposed to be linked to the first two films.
Yeah.
But until I watch all of them, I won't know, so I can't really comment. But I'd say the first one is a must-watch for any media student because it's like a foreign media, and it's a brilliant story. It could easily be a Western film, and it got turned into one. It just wasn't a particularly amazing one.
So you're trying to move the conversation on from anime and things like that, only slightly.
Go ahead.
What are like massive turn-offs for you in films? Because I did it there. I looked through the news to see what was in it and saw a picture of John Travolta. I don't like John Travolta.
Why do you like John Travolta?
Put it this way, I had an argument with my mum the other day because I don't like Grease, like the original.
How can you not like Grease?
I fucking love Grease. I don't like John Travolta. And I've realised this is what it is. Because Grease is fucking brilliant.
What's wrong with John Travolta?
I just don't like him.
Remember Face Off?
Yeah.
That weird film with
fuck
Nick Cage
everything.
and
I
John
just
Travolta.
don't like him. He's got a punchable face. And I just think he's a bit of an arse. But I was so fucking annoyed as well because they took it off Netflix. I was like, do you remember? You might not remember. ITV last year or the year before that did like a live.
The live show of Grease. Yeah, I remember.
I fucking love that. It's great. I like the cast.
I had another friend that was telling me about that, and they said it was amazing.
I like the cast, and I've always said I like musicals, or even not musicals. I do like musicals. I like stage shows because I think. Have you seen American Idiot on stage?
No.
I saw it. I was lucky enough to see it because.
Oh, that's really good.
I know, aren't I amazing?
I care so much.
I know, but I love that stage show, and I think you could bring that out on DVD as the stage show. That would work really well, like Our House and things like that, and Billy Elliot did. I think it works really well.
I can't stand Billy Elliot.
As a film,
Don't like it.
I don't know if it would just be that I'm now attached to the Broadway version, but I don't see American Idiot working as a musical film because I think it would have the wrong edge about it.
Like the wrong context, or
Yeah, I don't know. I think because of where I went to see it in the West End, it was sort of not. You say the West End and was like, oh yeah, the Lion King, all that shit. We went to a basement. Genuinely, it's this small little shop.
I have a story to say about stuff like that.
I don't know if I've got a photo of it. It was like a fucking corner shop almost, and you step in. It was like a cafe actually, I think, because they had a bar there and there's things like that. They had this fucking tiny little smaller table than this with merchandise on it, and they just basically stood there and it was like, oh yeah, what do you want? It was going, I can't see any of it. It was, oh well, it's there, I don't have photos, fuck. But you'd sort of then walk up these stairs and then through this thing, and there's we're on the top part. Literally, to get into it, you go behind the bar and go down into the cellar, and that's the bottom stage. But it's just this small little stage. The stage, probably twice the width, but the same length as this room, sort of thing.
I would take a picture of this room to put on the
no one needs
screen,
to know.
but no one needs to see what this room looks like.
But it was really small, and I'm sat there, and the way that they'd done it, you have sort of. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was really cleverly worked out that this section's this, and then with the lighting as well. There's a part when they're in hospital, and it's still the exact same stage, but the lighting's sort of a bit more blue, and so it sort of still puts you there. And I sit there thinking, I don't know that it would work with how sort of dynamic it all is, because there's a part where you've got people at home, and there's a bloke up here sat on his sofa, and then people down here, and I don't think that would work if you just cut them between two places, because they're sort of singing to each other at the same. And I just think. How did I get off from John Travolta for
I don't
this?
know.
I was talking about Grease. I just prefer Grease. I think that's what it is. We're going to backtrack now. Grease on Netflix. It was good, but they think they've taken it off. I don't like John Travolta. He's just got a face that really irritates me. So it could be this film. Fucking hell, I love Grease. Grease is a fucking brilliant film, but I don't like watching it because John Travolta's in it. And so I find myself actively not watching Grease because I know it's got John Travolta in.
So I'm going to tell you the story of... So you talked about the basement and how it just wasn't really nice. Well, I'm going to get back to my turn-offs in films in just a sec. But I went to the Paris concert last Tuesday, I would say. A week ago.
They've got a really fucking stupid logo.
Paris?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because for years I thought they were Pviz or something like that.
They were originally Paris with an A, but then they got a DMCA stuff, not DMCA, but a copyright takedown on that name. So I'm guessing that name's attached to something else.
Like the city?
Well, yeah,
Can you copyright a city?
No, you can't copyright a city. Otherwise, there'd all be fake cities in films. But anyway, I went to their thing, and because we had seated, there was no point standing in a queue for about an hour waiting to get in freezing cold.
Yeah.
So we went to this pub. I say pub. It was 2 rooms, if you can call them that.
Yeah.
With a tiny, tiny little bar in the middle. And we went in there, and it was like 3 or 4 people, and we thought, why are more people not using this bar? Because it's a fairly warmer place than outside. We were like, there's no TVs on the wall. That's really weird in a pub nowadays. You don't have a TV or something on the wall. And we thought, all right, I'll order just 2 Cokes. You just sit down. I went with my girlfriend, and I ordered 2 Cokes. And they just gave me
invited.
Shut up. They gave me 2 cans, and I was like, cans? Okay. You don't have any draft stuff. And they just said, oh, we have a Postmix, but it's not really got any of that. And I was like, what the hell do you use the Postmix for then? Just soda water. Anyway, we sat down, we had a drink, and then I went to the bathroom. The toilets in this place were the grottiest toilets I've ever stepped foot in. So you go into the men's the toilets. You go into the men's loo, and it's a corridor that attaches to the other room because the bar separates the 2 rooms.
And you just piss in the car.
And you step left, and you step in, you think, oh, I'm facing the toilet as you step in the toilet. But you have to squeeze past to get to the urinals. It's the stupidest room.
Someone made this corridor and went, oh shit, there's nowhere for anyone to take.
It's terrible. It's the worst toilets. Apparently the women's weren't really that good either. But of course I didn't check them. She did. Anyway, back to films. Turn-offs.
Was that just...
It was just my story about a grotty pub in Manchester. Because...
Okay.
I went off on a tangent.
Turn-offs in toilets.
Turn-offs in toilets. I definitely want to know enough space. No, turn-offs in films. I don't really...
Well, so what's one thing if you see... I mean, I'd say I don't really like American comedy. There's some exceptions to it. But anything with Kevin Hart in, I sit there and go, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kevin Hart.
I think he sounds alright, but when he's trying to be funny, it's just, oh, I'm black people and you are white people. What's the deal with that? And it's like, fuck off, would you, mate? You're quite a funny person. Don't rely on the fact you're black to be funny.
Okay, text. Entertain.
You see, when I go on my phone, I'm looking up stuff and trying to add to this.
It's alright, it's not loading anyway. Turn off to me would be, so I don't like...
Women.
I'm getting sick of the found footage film genre.
Ow.
Because it's just the same eventually. Like, this footage was taken from so-and-so. It was found. It was hidden away. And I was like, some of it's breakouts. So, like, you got Blair Witch, was pretty good. Paranormal Activity 1 was good. I think that's a really good film.
Was Cloverfield good on its release?
Cloverfield was brilliant.
Yeah, but did people like it on release?
I
seem to remember loads of people talking about it, and I can't think why.
But I still think that's a really good film.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that shaky cam is the worst thing to ever exist in that film. You can have
realistic
footage, but no, because you can barely see anything.
That's the point.
Past those 3 films, or those 3 series, because I guess Cloverfield's not a series, but it has Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Found footage films, I can't really stand them. Apart from Apollo 18, or was it Apollo 18 it's called?
The one with Tom Hanks.
No, not Apollo 11.
Oh.
Or 13. Apollo 18 is the one where they go to the moon, and it's a found footage film. They've got cameras. It's like the old space, like a really good old toy camera, and everyone hates it. I don't know why. I think it's a brilliant film.
The one with
it's the one with like the
on the
moon rocks turn into crab spider things. I think it's a great film. Because it's the film where you would hate to be in that situation.
You'll learn this, that I fucking love films, but I don't really watch any.
That's great.
I like TV, I don't like film. Oh no, I do like film, but I just don't watch it. I don't have the time to watch films a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'm a busy boy.
I'd say my favourite genres as well. So you got fantasy, which I
really need to stop playing with things.
Fantasy, which I quite like, which is sort of Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and that stuff. Sort of stuff.
I can't get into that.
I like sort of sci-fi, cyberpunk stuff. So you got Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, those kind of films, and then you got just the horror genre in general. But I've exhausted the horror section on Netflix and Amazon. I've watched tons of B movies. There are some dark horror films out there.
Do you know the Ouija Experiment?
The Ouija Experiment, I think so.
It's a shit film. And then I watched it with my dad.
Oh, I have one to talk about.
I think my dad wanted to watch Ouija, typed it into Netflix, and then clicked on the Ouija Experiment.
He's an idiot.
Oh, it was fucking awful.
By the way, Ouija itself is a terrible film.
If you haven't seen the ending to Ouija, the Ouija Experiment, watch it because it's fucking hilarious. It's just
There's the first.
I'm getting flashbacks. But the second film
the film to tell you about.
starts with the end, so it's sort of like a brief montage of the first film, and then like the actors walk out on the stage, and it's like, oh look, I'm premiering my new film, The Ouija Experiment, and it's sort of the second film is set as if the first film was a film.
That's pretty cool.
And then it takes place in the place where the premiere, and oh look, it's haunted. But
that's cool. That's a good premise.
It's still a shit film.
Well,
the second film, I got so excited because I was like, if you're going to do that, then that's going to be really cool. And again, it's the idea of it. I thought, oh yeah, do it. And it just turns into, oh, they're doing some ghost tour, and is it? They lead up to it being like the Ouija thing.
Into it now.
You've got one of the actors, he's a bit of a player and all that lot, and he takes some girl down, and she's like, oh, we'll do the Ouija thing. He's like, oh, I'll look it after you. And then they fuck off and don't properly respect the board and all that lot, and you get like this pan zoom in on the board,
right.
And you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen? And it turns out there's some girl locked in the basement who's gone feral and likes to eat people, and it's the fucking sheriff's daughter or something like that. And it's just, hang on a minute, you set that up.
Film on.
You fucking set that up, you led up to all these different things. It could be a murderer, maybe it's the sheriff, and then you just throw that in with any, like, completely unfounded. It pissed me off more than anything else, I think.
This is just us two shit on films, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we slagged off games a bit. This isn't supposed to be a nerdy podcast, this is supposed to be a conversation, but apparently this is all we talk about.
Well, we just ramble. Anything that we say just sort of goes on here, I guess. But you've brought me on to two films now, which I hate them both to death. So I love the Halloween franchise, because I think it's one of the few 80s horror films that still holds up.
Yeah.
I can't stand the one that's set in a reality show house. It's the worst film you can ever find. It's so bad. Actually, no, scratch that. It's not the worst film. The one I'm about to say is the worst film. It's terrible. The film I'm about to tell you about now is called Area 51, and it's just dark. It's just...
There was a game made of that as well. I remember
There was a quite good game made about that. It was called Black Site, I think. But...
Oh no, Black Site. That fucking game, right?
Oh, come on.
Black Site was shite.
It was what about
really,
aliens?
Yeah, it was fucking awful.
I loved it.
It controlled like shit. It looked like shit. The characters were shit.
So?
I got so far into it and thought, I'm really not liking this. And then the fucking thing jump scared me. I walked around the corner, it goes boom, and I was like, fuck you. I literally shouted at it, and then was like, fuck you, no, I'm not watching it. You can go fuck yourself, I'm not doing it. Don't jump scare me after all that shit.
The film, though. The film is a bunch of reporters get let into Area 51 for the first time. And you think, oh, it's pretty cool. It's different to, like, we're going to sneak in here. It is just the biggest pile of gaff in the world. That's the word you can explain it, gaff. It doesn't do anything. It just sort of sits there up its own arse for the entire film. It doesn't do anything with its life.
See, I was going to bring up, you said about the Halloween film, sort of set in a reality house. Did you ever watch Dead Set?
No.
It was Big Brother.
Oh god.
And it was the Big Brother house and all the contestants.
That's terrible.
But then a zombie apocalypse happens. And they don't know about it because they're in the thing. It was really good.
That sounds terrible.
It sounds shit, but it was really good.
Big Brother itself.
But you've got to think of what it was, like really unknown actors. So it was basically another series of Big Brother. And I think the first episode even was just an episode of Big Brother. And it's set in the Big Brother house. Like, it is Big Brother doing it. And they're doing it, and it's you get to know these people through them playing the game of Big Brother.
Right.
And then you sort of like, no one's talking to them. They're not really doing anything. You're sort of like, what the fuck? We're supposed to be doing shit. I'm bored. And then there's like, I think one of them tries to go out, and it's like, oh, I'm sick of this. I'm leaving. And then discovers that there's this zombie apocalypse thing, and they're sort of like, oh fuck, because we're stuck in here. We can't get out, but nothing can get in. And so you sort of get that. And I've just looked it up, and apparently it's created by Charlie Brooker, which explains it.
Charlie Brooker. Well, I don't know that name.
Black Mirror.
Oh, I've not seen Black Mirror. Yeah.
I've not watched. I was hoping you had, because I've not watched Black Mirror, because I saw it and was like, oh, it's not my thing.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I've really liked Charlie Brooker.
It's that thing.
He's a bit of an arsehole. Have you ever watched Screenwipe?
No.
You should watch Screenwipe. It's good. He's just quite cynical, and he's like me. He's an arsehole. But at the same time, like, you watch an interview with him, watch interviews with him as well, because he's like, you get to see how he sort of plans things. I think it's really, I like Charlie Brooker. He's an arsehole, but he's my arsehole.
Okay. Look, there was this is going to really bounce back it now. there was a game I was going to tell you about, and we just completely skipped over it.
Black Site.
No.
Because it's shit.
Game I played that I bought for £8 the other day.
Doom.
It's a brilliant game.
Oh, no one's ever played Doom.
Alright. Did you ever play the original Doom games? No. Did you ever play the original Wolfenstein game?
No.
No. This game is like those, but on steroids.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun. I've never had a game this much fun before.
It's, ADD the game.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I've just not had a game.
You just wanted to take that time to say how good a game is.
I've not had a game in ages that I could every 10 seconds say, that's fucking cool. I smash a demon's face in, I say, that's fucking cool. Pick up the BFG, and that's fucking cool.
Is it not just a bit samey, though?
Actually, no. It really isn't. Not for me, anyway. Because there's, like, on every level, there's, like, 6 different secrets you can find. So if I'm not fighting, I'm constantly looking for these secrets. And there's also always the little Doom rooms as well, from the original games. Apart from, by the way, bouncing back to films, have you ever seen this really cheesy Doom film? That's terrible.
Oh, with
The Rock
Dwayne, yeah.
It's so bad. I thought they had like quite a lot of promise at the start, because it's sort of like...
Is that a Duke Nukem film?
There's a... What? No.
I feel like there should be.
No. Duke Nukem barely works as a game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, after Forever came out.
I'm not talking about that fucking game. I had to write some massive fucking essay about that game, and then all of my work was lost. I was about to write it all out again.
I can't believe you wrote it about that game of all games.
Right, we had to do something that had controversy. What did you write about?
It was about a game or a film, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you picked a film, didn't you?
What film did I pick?
Oh, you bastard.
I can't remember what film I picked. I think I picked... not Clockwork Orange. I picked a film that was banned in Australia, because Australia just has everything banned.
I'm currently making notes for what I need to do. I've got play Doom and watch Ghost in the Shell.
Play Doom, watch Ghost in the Shell.
Well, I can then come back next time and go, right, so, this is shit, and this is why you're an idiot.
Oh, that's going to be great then.
We don't like things. Do we actually like anything?
Do you?
The both of us?
Oh, I don't think either of us like the same thing.
No. Do we ever agree on anything in general?
We agree on the things that we don't like.
Right, I know what we're doing next time. It's shit for a podcast, but I'm going to buy Dr. Pepper from Poundland, and you're going to taste test it, and then you're going to tell me which one tastes like shit. It's not the same.
It's the same.
It's not the same.
We're not going to have an argument about Dr. Pepper on this.
Not the same. Right, that design is Dr. Pepper in England.
Right.
Yeah. It's a different one when you buy it from Poundland. Why is that?
It's not different.
It is. It's a different design.
It's a different
bottle,
label, but
different
it's not a
label,
different
different everything. Yeah, it is.
You're an idiot.
No,
you're an idiot.
It's the American version.
It's just a different label because they get
I don't know what Americans
else,
do to their drinks, but they can't fucking do it properly because they taste like shit.
Oh, we did I tell you at Comic Con? So at Comic Con, Birmingham, I think it was. Me and
what the fuck was that?
If no one heard that, there was a weird squeaking in this room, which it happened when I moved. I'm that big.
I'm scared now.
Don't worry about it.
Will you protect me?
Again, we're in a really shit room. So in Comic Con, we went to this place called Tofu Cute, which is like a Japanese store, and they sell like snacks and stuff from Japan.
Is this in Manchester?
This was in Birmingham.
Oh, right.
I missed Manchester one. We get these little bottles, and it's like peach lemonade or something. They're just really weird drinks, but Japanese. And I got these little glass bottles. They're only about as big as that, I'd say. Which obviously they can't see on the podcast very well.
About the size of a Dr. Pepper bottle without the cap.
They have so when you open them up, you take the wrapper off, and then it's like a glass ball, and you have to get what you took off. You have to get it, push it in, and you pop the glass ball into the bottle. That
sounds like a really bad idea.
It's actually
burp halfway through the conversation.
Sorry, alright, it happens. So you have to pop these glass balls down, and then you can drink it, and you can stop the liquid from coming out if you do it upside down by positioning the glass ball in a certain way. It's really.
What if you break the glass ball?
That's what I was thinking. Then you're fucked. Here you go. You just have to drink glass.
How much does it cost?
The bottle costs like £1, I think. And then we got cans of Pokemon, like fizzy drinks as well, which is like I got the Squirtle one, so it was like grape lemonade.
Squirtle just still sounds disgusting.
Why does that sound disgusting?
Sounds like if you had like a porn version of Pokemon, that would be one of the characters.
Why did your mind immediately go to porn?
Why not?
That's just wrong.
It's someone's job to write narratives in porn.
Right. Let's not go into that bit, shall we?
No, but like...
Think about who's going to listen to this.
Why do you
Who
need
might
a
want to see
narrative?
this?
Why do you need a narrative for porn? Who sits down watching porn and goes, well, it was alright, but I just wish the story went somewhere. It's like...
Well, sometimes the teacher's really got to give them their grades. So, you know.
The tension was never like that in my school.
Right, they're coming off across as really funny or really creepy.
I just don't understand it.
No, I don't get it either. I don't get that industry as a whole, to be honest. It's just an industry of smut.
I think, well, that's kind of what the industry is, yes. Like, non-smutty porn. Fucking hell, could you imagine that?
That'd be terrible.
The plumber turns up and actually fixes your pipes.
Right, can I say, a plumber doesn't fix shit anyway in real life. So
It doesn't also shag someone. So, so that's porn stars, plumbers, who else will be offended?
I don't think any porn stars are going to watch this.
Well, you never know.
Oh, it's terrible. What were we on before we went on to that tangent?
Japanese.
Oh, God.
Talking about Pokemon.
Yeah, no, we went to Comic Con, we bought the drinks, bought the little Charmander and Squirtle drinks, because she had Charmander one. And then we went to, we bought this, she bought
I
this.
swear this fucking room is haunted.
Me too, if anyone's wondering now, we just said a weird, like, ooh thing. It's alright, it's fine.
We're going to make a found footage podcast.
Found footage podcast.
Just talking about porn and then something goes bang.
No, you're an idiot. Found footage podcast.
You can have footage be music. I'm going to look at the definition of...
Oh, for God's sake. Not if
Footage is just...
Not if it's an audio one.
Yeah.
Footage can't be used as a placeholder for audio.
Yes, it can.
It can't. Alright, you can sort this out. You can Google it. Because that's just not...
Well, Google's wrong as well, then.
No. Google's never wrong.
Yes, it is. It says part of cinema or television.
You lost phone privileges now.
Well, I was reading the fucking thing that... Oh, Jesus Christ, it was me moving my phone.
I'd say.
I'm jumping.
Anyway, get back to the tangent I was on. We went to the other side of the store, not Squirtle, and you could buy these little plushy, well, I say little, they're fucking huge plushy things, and they're the softest thing. I would use it as a pillow. It's like a memory foam little plushie.
For just $9.99.
Oh yeah, I think it's 20 quid.
For a fucking teddy bear thing.
It was a big plushie. I didn't buy one. I didn't have enough money. I bought loads of figures and shit and manga and all that kind of crap.
We need to go to Forbidden Planet one day because I need to buy a Dobby thing for myself.
Have we told anyone where we're based, so we're not just sort of talking?
Birmingham. Well, we're from the
Well,
posh side of Birmingham.
No, we're not posh. We've already been over this. We're from...
I don't think anyone watching this long is going to think we're posh.
We're from the well-spoken side. And I say well-spoken side, but I still say water instead of water. Which I still can't say properly, even though I try. Water. Oh, God, if an American watches this, we're fucked.
So
Basically,
porn stars, plumbers, Americans.
Every time I'm in a party, like, say I've got a few American friends that I go in a party with every now and then on Xbox. I play with them, I talk to them, whatever. Every time, I think it happens at least once every time I talk to them, they will, every time I say a word and it's extremely British of me to pronounce it in a certain way, they will just go, water. Like, they don't say the word that I pronounce, they just say water because that's how I say it and it's hilarious to them. Which I get why, because it's like a funny accent, but...
I get people walk up to me and say, oh, say bus. And I'm like, bus.
Wait.
Like, oh, you say it so weird.
You say it properly, I don't get it.
Say bus.
Bus.
Say pushchair.
Huh?
Pushchair.
Pushchair.
I couldn't say sausages for like fucking years.
What?
Do you know when you got a cold and it's quite hard to say like, I just couldn't say sausages. I used to go to like the chippy and my mum would be like, oh, what do you want? And I go, sausages.
I never used to be able to say egg and soldiers. No, what was it? Sort of.
How many times did that come up in conversation?
No, like, you know the little...
Yeah.
you never used to be able to say this and soldiers.
Egg soldiers.
I can't say it anymore. It's... I
Egg
always
and
used to accidentally say egg and shoulders. I can never say and the soldiers. my mouth and my brain wouldn't communicate and wouldn't let me say. So I'll just.
Do you know? I really hope this podcast gets really big because do you know how people get like animated versions?
Yeah.
I want someone to animate Egg and Shoulders.
So, anyone doesn't know, I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth, and I watch their podcasts. They have animated adventures where their stories get turned into a little stick figure cartoons. It's great.
I don't really listen to that many podcasts. I like Jack Mate's podcast. I like the Nerd Cube podcast, which used to be on but now isn't.
Yeah.
And then I know you always liked Rooster Teeth, so I started watching that, but literally like yesterday.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard of that, I really like.
You should start watching the older ones first, I'd say.
I'll just click play on it. I might do shuffle, and I don't really care about being up to date. I just click it.
I hate you. I've got some funny ones to recommend to you.
Well, why don't you actually fucking say them then?
I did say one yesterday, but you just went, I'm going to press play.
No, you didn't.
I told you a specific number.
You said, I'd start from like
start from there, and I picked that one because it was a funny one.
Well, you didn't say that. You just said start from there. I was like, I don't want to have to catch up because they're an hour long.
My fault, is it?
Yes.
But, you got me on a fucking tangent. I can't remember what I was saying now. Oh, Egg and Shoulders. But yeah, I never used to be able to pronounce that. And then, Fox News.
Yeah.
I never used to be able to say Fox. I used to say fucks. As a little 3-year-old or 4-year-old kid, my mum would go, "What's on TV, right?" And I'd go, "Fucks News," or like "Fucks."
You see,
it's terrible.
I remember one.
Ooh, how's that feel?
I mean, this is like how evidence that rock music turns people into violent individuals.
It doesn't. Rock music nowadays is like the calmest thing in the world.
I remember trying to write the word "fuck" on a Green Day CD. Not on the CD, like on the case, because I couldn't spell fuck.
Is that because you were an edgy emo?
No, I just wanted to know how to spell fuck, and I couldn't work it out. And I thought if I write it on like the plastic part, then my parents would see it, because I could just wipe it back off. I never worked out how to write fuck.
I remember when
even
we
to
were
this day.
in year 6 or something, we first started learning about like.
Is this where you bring up the fucking bullshit thing again?
Huh?
Where you got in trouble because I said bullshit, and then I went and apologised and said it was me, and you still got in trouble.
I did. Anyway. No, I was thinking about. Do you remember when we first started learning about like World War II and Nazis and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Every kid would practice the swastika on end for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then teachers would sort of look over your shoulder and go, "What you doing?"
No, I thought you were going to bring up the fact that in year 6 or year 5, our teacher was going, "Okay, today we're going to learn about World War II," and I stood up and went, "Oh yeah, I love war," and was like,
"Hey, did you do that?"
Yeah. You were in the other class, weren't you? Yeah.
I was in Miss Payne's.
Yeah, I had Miss Cole.
Wait, no, I had Miss Cole for a year, so.
I had Miss Cole in.
You had her in year 6.
Years.
I had her in year 5 because she took over from.
Yeah, I had Mr. Chamberlain.
Whatever teacher I had.
Not Mr. Chamberlain. I had him in year.
You had Mr. McLaren, didn't you?
No. Yeah, maybe. Did I?
McLaren?
I had Mr. Kitchen at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, I think that was year 5. I had Mr.
Oh wait,
Kitchen
we might have been in the same
5.
class then because I had Mr. Kitchen and then he got replaced by Miss Cole.
I seem to remember you were always in the other class though.
I don't know.
Because we didn't like each other.
No, we didn't. Not at school. That's a story from another time.
Yeah.
We were vile. How long were we going?
Nearly an hour.
Nearly an hour.
Got 58.
To wrap it up in a bit. But to get back on the subject, what were we talking about? You take me on so many fucking tangents.
Don't blame me.
I am going to blame you now because I can't think of what I'm fucking saying. Oh, you were going on about podcasts, weren't we?
Were we?
Yeah.
I thought that was a tangent.
Was that?
I don't know. Let's go on about podcasts if you've got something to say.
Well, if you were to listen to a specific podcast, like one that's centred around a particular subject, what would you listen to?
I don't know. See, this is what I mean when I say I don't want ours to be like anything specific, because I think you get film podcasts,
well, this one hasn't
and
been
you just get loads of people
all
going,
over the
I
place."
love the direction of this. I'm like, oh, fuck off, just be normal. So that's the Nerd Cube podcast. That started off talking about games. By the end of it, it was just they'd turn up every week and just talk shit. They'd be talking about politics and talking about this gaming thing and talking about each other, and they all run a channel and things like that. So I find it more interesting just having a group of people and listening to their conversation, because I think it's more natural. I think if you're sat there going, "All right, now we're going to read this part,"
I
don't
think
like
the voices into a mic. I like hearing it. It's like ASMR to me. Not like that. No, don't. No.
Hey there, little.
You just sound weird.
I know I do.
People are switched off. And they're not going to sit for an hour anyway, but still. Okay, stop that.
You flick my nose.
Yeah. If I was going to pick one about a particular subject, it'd just be a sort of about around films and sort of.
Yeah, I think that's sort of my interest. There's the...
That is what ours is kind of aimed at. I wouldn't say it's aimed at anything specific, but if we were going to pick a subject to talk about that we know we could talk about on end for ages, we'd pick media.
See, my name's Tommy. I'm 19 years old and I ride BMXs. There's a BMX podcast. Well, I think it was a BMX podcast now. Yes, I've voice cracked again.
Yeah.
I think now it's just talking about rap and crap, but I never
Rap and crap.
got into it. I don't like Americans. I've discovered this is what it is.
I said that I don't like it when they go on about my accent, but you just literally outright said you don't like it.
I don't like the American accent.
Why?
It's not like something I hate, but I find myself like relating more. I don't know. Sorry. You probably don't like my accent. It's fine. I'm nasal and awful.
I said I didn't like the way they spoke about my accent sometimes. You just outright said you don't like them.
No, but it's like Rooster Teeth. You've got Gavin.
Is
him. I'm like, he's my favourite one.
So
why? Because he's British and I know what he's talking about.
He's my favourite because he's exactly the same as me.
Yeah.
In some ways. Who don't you like on that podcast then?
I don't like anyone. It's just they're not my favourite.
You don't like.
And when you're listening to a podcast, an American podcast, I just saw myself like I'm listening to it, but I'm not like engaged with it. I find myself more with British people and podcasts. I sort of engage a bit more with them. Maybe I'm like subconsciously racist. It's not my fault.
Subconsciously racist towards a nationality. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fuck off.
Don't know. I don't think there's any accent that I wouldn't want to listen to. There's none that I can say that I don't really like, apart from fucking Northerners.
And on that note,
gonna go north soon. It's fine.
Isn't your girlfriend from the north?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the next episode,
she's only
Ryan's
like
single.
a few hours away, but she's like, there's north and then there's north.
Well, we've been going for about an hour now.
Yeah, we should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
So this has been, I guess, episode 1. I don't think we'll call it like zero.
I think it's sort of a pilot.
It's been a pilot, but we'll have to call it 1.
Well, it'll be pilot. And then you can have episode 2 or episode 1 after that. But this isn't an actual thing because we don't have a plan or a name or anything like that yet.
Yeah.
By the time you're watching it or listening to this, I'd assume that we have a name.
At the time of recording, we are sitting in a really darkened room. We have no name.
Well, it wouldn't be that dark if you turned the fucking
no
lights
channel
on.
set for either. We've just sort of said we're going to do one.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll improve as time goes on.
It will.
And we'll get
I don't
better.
think this was this bad.
Yeah.
I think the introduction's always going to be bad because you've got to stand there and go, hi.
I think in all future ones we should just turn the recorder on and then while we're getting ready and we just sit down and then we start talking.
Yeah.
It's easier than saying, alright,
but I went for a piss, and so if I did that, then...
Well, I'm not saying we start 5 minutes before, unless we've got like a backing track to put on top. Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, we should probably end it because I want to go home.
And you hate
I don't want to stay in
Northerners.
college for longer than I have to.
Oh, God. What education and shit. Right then, so...
We'll see anyone next time.
You won't see anyone's voice.
Oh, fucking hell. Speak to you next time then.
See you later, Bab.
Just end it.